turnover. Canberra strikes back.
Oh my goodness, how great was that?
Finds an option cross court. Wayrun pops up for three and jams it in.
They've got a fire from long range. Wickham missing. It's a miracle in the West. What a moment for this young team.
Hello and welcome to the lights for this round 14 WNBL clash between the Adelaide Lightning and Melbourne Boomers. With the Lightning in third and Boomers in fourth, both teams will be looking for a top two finish with big wins today. Redemption will be on the line as well, with Adelaide coming off back-to-back losses against Perth and Melbourne coming off a close defeat against the Bendigo Spirit. It's third versus fourth, contender versus contender, and rival versus rival. I'm Julia Montesano, joined by Bendigo Spirit superstar Annalie Maley. Annalie, welcome. It feels like we're going to be in for a great game today.
I am super excited to watch this game. You have two really talented teams that match up really well against each other, so it'll be a really good hit out. Both teams play very different styles of basketball, so it'll be interesting to see whether it's the run and gun game or the half pace, half court slug that wins this one.
As I mentioned, both teams are coming off losses, but for Adelaide, those losses have happened in succession in Perth and on Monday and Wednesday this week. A tough run for them. How do you think they would have approached this game?
Look, I think that when you're coming off a few losses, especially two in a row to the same team, you go back to the drawing board. You watch a lot of film, you reassess your defensive sets, and like I said, they're a very talented team, the Lightning, and I think that their ability to put together a win on any night is they're very capable. So I think that if they have watched over those games, you can't dwell on it too much, and you just have to look ahead of the game that's right before us.
And both teams are going to be looking for that top two finish with big wins today. I mean, what kind of game style do you think we're in for in this one? Two teams filled with star power.
Yeah, so like I said, Adelaide really like to run, and they're really effective in their transition game. You know, when you have players like Alana Smith who can get a rebound and go coast to coast, it's pretty hard to guard. Where you look at the Boomers, and they're really good in their half court sets. They're super efficient and very effective in that area. So I think that if Melbourne can stop Adelaide's running game, which will be very difficult, they'll be able to get the win today, and same goes with Adelaide. If Adelaide can kind of push Melbourne into some shots that they don't want to take and speed them up a little bit, it would fall their way. But really, it's such a good contest, a very evenly matched game. So I think we're in for a good one.
We saw pictures there of Kayla George. It's her 300th WNBL game. What a great achievement, Annalie. You've had some great battles with Kayla George. Do you think Melbourne could get the win for her, and how do you think they'll go about it?
What an incredible career she's had, and like not even close to slowing down anytime soon. Like 300 games, what a milestone. She's an incredible player, even better human, and I would just think that Melbourne are going to play their hardest for her on the court today. And I know they all do rally around their teammates. They get on really well, and I can't imagine a better feeling for Kayla George than to walk away with the win today.
Absolutely. We take a look at Adelaide's team list, and they've got the standard starters, but these standard starters are full of stock power and firepower, Annalie.
Yeah, look, I'm really excited for the Alana Smith Ezzy matchup. I think that they play very similar styles of basketball, both super athletic, and then on top of that, seeing Steph Talbot go head-to-head with Tiffany Mitchell. How exciting, like what a game.
It's going to be a great game for sure. And the Melbourne Boomers, we take a look at their lineup as well. Again, standard starters for them as well, but an interesting omission off the bench. No Penina Davidson. How do you think that's going to affect them today?
Well, Penina Davidson, she's a really great possession player for them. She rebounds, she does all the 1%ers, and her minutes are always super important for the Melbourne Boomers. But when you have someone like Carly Ernst stepping into the mix, she'll just pick up everything that you lose from Penina, and I'm sure they'll be trying to get as many rebounds as they can, especially with the rebounding power that Adelaide Lightning has. Yeah, they go super deep on the bench, Melbourne Boomers.
You played against them last round. We're fortunate enough to come away with the win, so a good win for the Spirit, of course. But yeah, do you think Melbourne will be coming into this one a bit sore, considering how physical that game was?
I think so, but I mean, so would Adelaide. 2 tough games on the road in Perth. both teams probably battling a little bit of fatigue. It'll be interesting to see how they rotate with their benches tonight and get fresh legs on the court. But yeah, they're probably a lot of fatigue playing into it.
We're taking a look at Chris Lucas on screen now. What do you think his last message is to his side?
I would think that he's telling them to run the ball, to push, to get hands in the lanes and make it a fast-paced game and make the Boomers uncomfortable and push them into the game that they want to play.
Getting into tip-off now. It's third versus fourth at the Lights on Garnerland in Adelaide. Two teams fighting for a top two finish. See Talbot and George, two Opals sharing a bit of love for it hots up here at the Lights. Third versus fourth, rival versus rival, contender versus contender. And here's the tip. For Andrew Gaber-George, just can't quite grasp it, but it's a Melbourne ball to start off this one. As he made the ball straight into the action.
Already we have bodies hitting the floor.
It's going to be that sort of game, you sense. Lindsay Allen trying to do some work here on Smith and does it well.
That's a brilliant fadeaway over an overstretched hand in Alana Smith.
Adelaide now looking to respond through Smith. And now Williams. Here's Talbot, leading the league in assists.
Shot goes up. Bang! Steph Talbot drains a deep one.
That's a perfect start for Steph Talbot and the Adelaide Lightning. An early 3-2 lead. Here's McGraw, baseline drive, no good.
There's an athletic take there from Ezzy. Good D there by Kylie Shook as Alana pushes the ball down the floor. That's what I mean there with Alana's ability to get a rebound and push. She's really hard to guard.
So to Abby Wareham going up against Tess Madgen, and Madgen wins out this time. Gets it over to Allen. And somehow finds the ball still. Gets a pass to Ezzy. That was clever. Ezzy, can she finish it off? Yes.
That's a great second effort there. Somehow Lindsay Allen had her hands on the ball still after it being tapped out. Good second effort there. As Talbot comes off a high on-ball screen from Alana.
Gets it over to Wareham, and now Williams from the corner drains that. Back-to-back threes to start off this one from the Lightning.
That was a great extra pass from Abby Wareham. Very unselfish play for the one more.
So 6 points for Adelaide leading this one. Just gone about 2 minutes into this first quarter. Here's Allen in space, dish to George. Lightning quick, just couldn't get the finish. And now here come the Lightning through Wareham. She's looking to push the pace.
Abby Waring's another one that really pushes the ball really well. Once she gets going, she's super quick, really strong, and she has the ability to go coast to coast as well.
Taking a look at that sweet release from Kiana Williams. Hasn't she been a great pickup for the Lightning this season? Here she is again for another three. Couldn't get back-to-back.
Check. Good strong move from Kylie Shook. Good follow there. Unfortunately, just tapped it out of bounds. But that's what we need to see from Kylie Shook. I mean, she's got a small height advantage over Kayla George. The turnover there, just Kayla George wasn't looking at the ball. But yeah, it would be good to see the Lightning kind of use that height of Kylie Shook and the strength that she has inside.
Kylie Shook standing at 196 centimetres. That is some height.
Yeah, and she moves so well. Like, she's really actually quite quick and got great footwork.
Talbot.
Abby comes off that cut down the bottom there, uses that screen from Alana.
George concedes the foul, I should say. She's so hard to guard, Steph Talbot. I mean, she can make a move depending on where your hands are going. Sort of a nimble little player.
Yeah.
She's with it again.
Pass.
Nice feed, just got cut off.
That time Kayla got her hand to it.
So George gets one back. Here's Mitchell. Now Madgen. Pulls up on her own. And why not if you're going to finish like that?
They went under. Can't get under a screen on a shooter. Tess Madgen is always going to hit that.
Shook guarded by McGraw over to Talbot. Shook will get it back here. Couple of passes here for Adelaide. They're being held up by the Boomers. They've got 3 to shoot. Williams has got to put it up, but she's double teamed.
Oh, that's great defense from the Boomers. They kind of lured her into that corner spot there, and unfortunately when you're stuck in the corner like that, it's almost like you're being defended by 4 people with the baseline and the sideline acting as extra defenders. Lindsay Allen comes off this on ball. That's a great pass. Oh, and Ezzy following up her own shots.
Eventually she'll head to the foul line. Took a few goes, but Allen again, such a clever pass. She looked like she was putting up the shot.
Looked like she was shooting it that faked out almost everyone else. Might have even faked out Ezzy, actually.
Ezzy wasn't sure it was coming to her. She's got it now.
Yeah, she's got great hands, Ezzy. Like, she can almost catch absolutely anything, any pass. And see if she misses this first free throw here. Yeah, but where she's so deadly is the follow-up. She never doesn't contest a missed shot, even her own.
You played against her last week. I mean, how was that battle?
Yeah.
Tough?
Oh, yeah. Ezzy is one of the hardest people in the league to play against. She's so good.
So too Williams pulls up for 3. And Ezzy once again, speak of the devil, pulls down the boards.
Yep.
Here's Magin now pushing the tempo. He'll get the screen from George. Good dish out to Allen, and now Mitchell. Melbourne running the floor here, but Ezzy just snatched it away. And they got the bucket they probably deserved in that play.
Yeah. Somehow ended up in Ezzy's hands. But almost every one of the Melbourne Boomers players touched the ball in that possession. That was really good ball movement. As Kayla George gets her second foul.
Really foul trouble.
Yeah.
Grounded gamer. I think she'll come off to the bench now. A very early break. That's not what you want. It's such an important game. And no Penina Davidson as well to back her up. It's a big task for Carly Ernst as well. Probably going to play more minutes than she intended at this stage.
Yeah. It's unfortunate to get 2 early fouls like that, but if anybody can play with early foul trouble, it is the 300 gamer herself. See Alana Smith going up against Carly Ernst. It's a great fadeaway shot there by Alana.
It's become her signature shot, really, hasn't it? I mean, she's just hit so many of those in her first WNBL season, as Mitchell wants to do the same on the other end, and does.
That's a great pull-up. She stops so fast, pulls up on a dime, floats it up and in.
We're on now bringing the ball down. Talbot.
Got that high on-ball screen from Abby. Oh,
big block from Ezzy.
She came out of nowhere.
Brought the house down with her, and now Mitchell gets to work on the other end and will head to the charity stripe.
Tiffany Mitchell is so dangerous in transition like that. She's so powerful, got a great change of pace and can finish through a lot of contact. But look at here, Ezzy coming across split line help. There's no chance you're going to get a shot up over an outstretched Ezzy in that situation.
Not in my house. That was a vicious block.
Yeah.
Here's Mitchell now at the line. Pops the first one in. She's had a fantastic season, Tiff Mitchell. 15.5 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, and 2.9 assists as well. She pops the second one in to go with her first.
She's just so explosive when she gets in a full court situation like that. Almost impossible to guard. As Adelaide run the same play, will we get a same shot? Oh, just missed out. Good tip
Mitchell
there.
again.
Here she goes.
As well, but she's going to go on her own.
Unfortunately, that one didn't drop. It was a good little Euro step.
Now Talbot pushing up the floor. Werrung from distance gives it into Smith, and now Talbot wanted to pull up, eventually went inside. Foul called.
That's another play from Adelaide where they moved the ball so well. Sky Malloy is a little confused as to where that foul came from. As you can see on the replay, Talbot just got hit in the head a little bit.
She's at the free throw line, Steph Talbot. League leader in assists. She's also second in Adelaide for rebounds and 7th in the league for rebounds too. Couldn't get the second one to go. So Allen looking to extend Melbourne's 5-point lead. Here's Magin now. Just dribbles around. Eventually finds an option in Mitchell from the corner. No good. Brooke pulls down the defensive board, I should say. And here's Williams. Wanted to put the moves on.
That was a strong move by Williams.
She's got very quick feet. Similar to Mitchell, they both got those quick feet.
Yeah.
So we'd love to see in the imports, the WNBL. We've had a great calibre of imports this year.
Yeah, and that matchup there, especially between Lindsay Allen and Kiana Williams, like, those are two world-class point guards. So we see Tiffany Mitchell coming off the Lou Brown screen. Pulls up for the jumper. She hit that same shot a couple plays ago, and she is deadly in that spot.
Tiff Mitchell's getting to work early for the Boomers. 16 points to 9. Brown got it back in and probably should have let it go out because Smith's going to the line.
She almost passed. Is that an assist from Louise Brown?
It almost could be. Look at that. Oh, she won't like to watch that moment back.
It was good defense. Just unfortunate that she fumbled the ball right back into Alana's hands. But Alana's another player in the league that just never gives up, and she just will keep going time and time again. As you can see, she finishes that one up.
Cuts the margin back to 4. Just over 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Magin, triple team, got it out to Allen. Couldn't finish. Whittle pulls down the boards. Clever pass to Smith, and she's off.
This is Adelaide's trademark running game.
That's perfect from Brooke to finish it all off. It all started with that Whittle hustle at the other end.
It's a great team basketball game just there. It's Allen attacking.
I'm just too heavy on the hands, but
it's a good strong attack there from Lindsay Allen. But here you can see where Adelaide is so effective and so good in that transition game. Goes through 4 sets of hands, and they convert the basket.
This time, Lindsay Allen at the free throw line. She's had a fantastic season at Melbourne once again. That's the first one to go. She's coming off 17 points and 5 dives against you guys, Annalie. She had a big game.
Yeah, she was very good. She converts both of those.
A 4-point lead for Melbourne. Just over 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Adelaide have got themselves back into this one. Wareham will bring it down against Mitchell. Great test to Abby Wareham as well. Smith trying to get free. She's guarded closely. Eventually does, but the pass is wayward. She'll now get it back.
Drills it back in.
5 seconds to shoot here for Adelaide, but Melbourne able to cut it off through Brown. Now Allen will get working. Here's Mitchell up against Wareham. Puts the Jets on. Oh, good dish to right, but even better block from Whittle. And again, hustling on the boards. Jump ball called.
That was a really great attack there from Tiffany Mitchell. A brilliant back cut, but better defense there by Marina Whittle. Just couldn't come away with the ball there.
Annalie, of course, your partner. You've been nervous watching this one, watching Marina Whittle in action.
I love watching Marina play. It always makes me nervous watching her, but yeah, it would be good for them to get the win tonight.
Be a happy FaceTime call afterwards.
Exactly.
As Kayla George back on the floor, can't get the 3.
Talbot pushes the issue. Another transition play.
Here's Wareham from the corner. Couldn't drain that.
She does make quite a lot of corner threes. That's one of her favourite spots. Say Tiffany Mitchell attacking the ball again.
She's got favourite spots all over the floor.
Yeah.
Right from the corner this time. Can't get it to go.
Look at the way that everyone from Adelaide is running.
So many bodies up the floor for the Lightning. And bodies on the floor as well.
That's been the theme of the game so far. There's been bodies hitting the floor everywhere. So you see here, just look at the way that Talbot just puts her head down and attacks. It'll stay with Adelaide, I think, here.
Guy Maloney's last WNBL season. He's been such a stalwart of this competition.
Yeah. Kiana Williams setting up the play, splitting the defense. Brilliant drive, easy finish. That's some beautiful basketball right there from Kiana Williams.
Adelaide pull back within 2. Just over 90 seconds to play in this first quarter. George up against Brooke. What she got in her bag of tricks. And one. Oh. That's what she's got.
Kayla George just has such a beautiful fadeaway and managed to finish over the hands of Chelsea Brooke as Chelsea just clips her a little bit on that fade.
Am I right in saying Chelsea Brooke defended that pretty well? I mean, there's not much more she could have done. It's just George had the higher up, right?
She did, yeah. There's not a lot you can do there. That's good offense, good defense. But unfortunately, just clipped her on the hand a little bit.
So Williams now over to Brooke. Here's Whittle. Get it back here, Whittle, and pull up for a 3.
That one can't go. And now we have Melbourne pushing the issue.
Here's Madgen from the corner this time. As he nearly pulled down the offensive ball.
Is there a gust of wind in the stadium at the moment? We've had 3 air balls.
We'll call them assists only. We don't call them air balls.
Assists, yeah. We'll go with assists.
Yeah, the shooting has been a bit off to start off this one. Adelaide 1 from 6 from long range. Adelaide 2 from 6, sorry, and Melbourne 1 from 6.
Playing good defense on both ends. Oh, it was great D there by Kylie Shook. I mean, that's hard to finish.
Over Talbot now. Looking to find Shook again. And now Whittle, free, but Brewster in with the hands. Good to see her on for some early minutes.
It's a good post up there. Marina has a size advantage on some of the other 3 men in the league, so better defense there by Rachel Brewster.
Oh, Lindsay Allen's step back jumper was perfect.
That never looked like missing from the moment it left her hands.
She's full of class, Lindsay Allen.
It's a great hard show there by Ezzy. It's Chelsea Brooke with the answering bucket. Another one with a beautiful stroke, Chelsea Brooke. She can really get hot and get going.
Melbourne looking to have the last say on this first quarter. They've got 6 seconds to shoot. Here's George. Can't pull up, and Ezzy just couldn't pull down the boards. But that'll end the first quarter at the lights. Melbourne have had the better of Adelaide so far in this one. 23 points to 18. They lead this one by 5, but don't go anywhere. Exciting second quarter coming up after this short break. To his troops there. Welcome back to the lights. Sorry, we're looking at Guy Malloy speaking to his troops there on screen. It's Melbourne leading this one 23. Adelaide Lightning are sitting on 18 points. It's Julia Montesano and Annalie Maley with you, taking you through this game. Melbourne have had the better start, but Adelaide have had some pretty good looks too, Annalie.
Yeah, look, so far it's been evenly matched. Melbourne just coming out a little bit better in that quarter, but I love watching the way that Adelaide pushed the ball. Kayla George got into a little bit of early foul trouble, but she's all class, so she's, I'm sure, able to play with those fouls without it affecting her. And you see some early minutes from some of the Melbourne Boomers bench players in Rachel Brewster and Lou Brown coming in, playing some good roles. Same with the Adelaide, but yeah, it'll be this quarter. I'm looking to see who can push the ball and really capitalise off some of that fatigue that we were talking about, to see who can push through that.
So Mitchell leading all scorers so far with 6 points. Williams has 5, and so too Alana Smith. So we'll look to see if those points tallies of those 3 superstars rise, which I'm sure they will, as the game heats up to a crescendo. Let's get the second quarter underway with Yana Williams bringing the ball down against Halloween for Tiffany Mitchell. What a great battle that is. Here's Talbot now. Good long find.
Great pass, good inside-outside look. Kiana Williams with another 3-point shot. She's playing a great game of basketball tonight. It's the on-ball pressure there from Abby Werong. You say Melbourne Boomers haven't had a single assist yet, actually. It's interesting, but they have been moving the ball well. Maybe this can be their first. And it is! right on time. I've been doing that all night, actually.
You have. If you were watching the previous game between Townsville and Southside, Annalie Maley was telling the future, and she's doing it again. And that assist means $100 in the kitty bank for Lifeline round, which Melbourne Boomers are supporting, as Shook puts that one down.
She's such a composed player, Kylie Shook, and she never seems to, too frazzled, and she just plays with such composure and such professionalism.
Speaking of professionalism, here's Madgen to George. Can't get back-to-back buckets, so Talbot can get going.
Adelaide off and running.
Brooke. Once again.
Oh, it's a travel called. Oh, that was a great run there from Chelsea Brooke. And a heads-up play from Steph Talbot, the leading assist player in the league. You can see why. It's a brilliant pass.
A few steps there, yeah.
Couple too many. Surely the refs can close their eyes for a second and let that one pass, just for the assist, right?
Take a look at the turnover count, though. 7-1. They're still only behind by 3 points, though, so a good result, considering that differential in the stat. Here's Madgen. Finds Scanlon in the corner, but just went over her head. So Adelaide applying the pressure now. Lily Scanlon, another bench player, on for some early minutes too.
Yeah, Lily's a good point guard, and she's kind of blossomed in the role that she's played at Boomers in her first year in the WNBL. Oh, second year, my bad, sorry. She played with Caps.
Here's Williams now. Finds Talbot in the corner this time. Can't join the party just yet.
Melbourne are off and running.
Here's Ezzy. Gives it off to George, and now McMagor gets it back on 2. Oh, can't get the finish.
That was a good mismatch there. Just couldn't get it to go. That was good defense by Abby Werong, defending the bigger player in Ezzy.
She's back with the ball again, guarded by Scanlon, and now Talbot in that same corner. Gives it off to Shook. He can't get it in, and the ball just floats in the end. George has to go and mop up.
Adelaide didn't seem to have very many rebounders in there just then. Too many open spaces for Melbourne. Didn't know who to grab it. Oh, great defense there by Alana Smith, doing what she does best, getting hands in the lane, putting pressure on the ball.
Here's George now. Looking to make a move on Shook. She's got 3 seconds to do so, just pops it up. Good D by the Lightning. Foul drawn by Smith.
It's a good take there. Kind of had to end a shot clock.
Smith, I think she got a little poke in the eye or something like that. Yeah.
That's the worst. That is the worst.
They're always accidental, but they always hurt.
Yeah.
So Williams up against Mitchell once again. Adelaide 3 points behind Melbourne. 7 minutes to play in this one. Here's Ortlip on for her first minutes. Over to Shook. Shot clock counting down. 3 to shoot for Adelaide. So Wayrong's just got a launch.
Oh, it looks good. Unfortunately, pushed into a late shot, but that was great defense from by the Melbourne Boomers. They're wearing Adelaide like a glove in this quarter.
Imagine now with it to Mitchell. Now George, guarded heavily by Smith.
It's a great
Dribbles
pass.
it to Ezzy. Can't finish it off. Now Werung can maybe get a bit closer from that three-point range she took.
Oh,
Pass gets chopped off.
great hands there. Tiffany Mitchell, hesitation. Great pass into Kayla George. How did she even see her? Great finish there from Kayla too. Brilliant pass from Tiffany Mitchell.
Smith. Just looking for someone to come to her. Gets Ortliff. Williams, tough three. No finish. McGregor pulls down another board. Her 6th rebound already for the game. As Magin finds herself in some space, pulls up, and just rattles in. Classy finish from Tess Magin. Timeout called. Melbourne up by 7.
Tess Magin is another player that just has such composure, and when she gets the ball, she kind of waits for the play to unfold. And look at that, a beautiful little onside, little step back, and that shot drops for her. She's always played with such grace and composure, and that is real professionalism there, Tess Magin.
Great to see her go into the Olympics as well. I mean, she's at the ripe old age of 31, made her Olympics debut. It's a testament to never giving up, isn't it?
Yeah, look, Tess is a brilliant player, and she's been such a staple player in the WNBL for such a long time. And, you know, every year she proves why she is so valuable in a team. And then, yeah, I'm just so happy for her, but also so well deserved to get that Olympics call up for her. I don't think it was ever in question, really.
She's had a fantastic few years and a fantastic career. Just having a good night tonight, as are the Boomers. What do you think Guy Malloy's saying to his troops now, and Annalie?
Look, they're doing a great job so far. If they just keep, as you can see, the last couple of possessions, they're getting deflections, and those are things that aren't usually statted. So, you know, you can stat steals and turnovers, but you don't stat the hustle deflections and the tips, or when someone's going to set a screen and you slightly bump them out of their way. So he'd be happy with the way that his group's been doing that, and probably encourage them to stick with it for the rest of this half and then moving on to the second.
Here's Williams getting things started for Adelaide off that timeout. Just under 6 minutes to play before half-time. Here's Smith, found herself in space, pulled up, couldn't finish.
And Lindsay Allen in everything. You can see the 3 Boomers players to the 1 Adelaide player in that possession. They just wanted it more in that moment.
Shook thought she had an easy board there, but didn't see the Boomers swarming her in the end. Here's Lindsay Allen bringing the ball down the floor. Mitchell gets to work on Talbot. Now George, sitting on 2 fouls at the moment.
Look at that ball pressure by Alana Smith.
Magin's got 5 to shoot, goes in on her own, can't bank it in.
Oh, good tip out there.
Oh, athletic by Tiffany Mitchell.
Oh, wow. They're playing with something to prove tonight, Melbourne.
Fresh 12 for them, so Allen gets to work on Williams. Wants to pull up and eventually does.
That's a smart play by Lindsay Allen. There wasn't much in it, but she knew that if she just did one up fake, she could get Kiana up in the air. As you can see here, she could see it. She goes up and just kind of lures her into her space.
So Lindsay Allen at the line. 13.1 points per game this season. To go with 3.5 rebounds and just under 4 assists. Of course, played with the Indiana Fever in the WNBA this season. Now suiting up for the Boomers. And draining her second free throw to go with it. Lindsay Allen's got herself up to 8 points for the game.
You see Melbourne's come out in a zone here.
And it works. They pull down the board.
It's one of the hardest things to do to rebound out of a zone, it's quite difficult because you don't have a one-on-one player matchup to box out. As you can see, some good defensive pressure there from Taylor Ortlip. That's some good pressure. She just got her hands in it. Active hands, active feet. And Adelaide end up with the ball.
Very hard to stop Lindsay Allen, but they managed to do it, and now Talbot with it. Off to Shook. Wants to feed Smith, but goes herself. Gets the M1.
A strong finish there from Kylie Shook. She saw that she had the mismatch there with Lindsay Allen on her, and she was smart enough to not pass it off and say, no, I'm going myself. And yeah, that's the danger with the zone. Sometimes you end up with mismatches like that, and she converts the extra point there.
One of the, I think, the underrated players of the year, Kylie Shook. I mean, we always speak about Smith and Talbot, but Shook having a wonderful season as well.
She's like a silent assassin, you know, like by the end of the game, she's got a massive double-double, and you're like, how did that even happen?
It creeps up on you, it certainly does. Here's Allen finding George for three. Just bounces out.
Great rebound.
Strong boards.
Here you have Adelaide pushing the ball again. Inside to Kylie Shook. Oh,
good
great
block
D.
by George. And now Melbourne are off through Magin. Allen with it.
It's great defense there. See Lindsay Allen just setting up her team.
She got the screen from Agbagor, denied it. So now they'll just work the perimeter.
Looks like
the Adelaide ball.
Yeah, Tiffany Mitchell just took off before she had the ball in her hands. Too quick. You see, it seems like the momentum has swung a little bit in Adelaide's favour the last couple of minutes. So they've upped their defensive pressure. If you look at the last couple of plays, their hands have been in everything. They're not giving Melbourne as much breathing room as they have in the last couple of possessions. Yeah, so you can kind of feel like there's a bit of a wave happening at the moment.
Adelaide have got 8 points for the quarter, Melbourne with 9, so they're keeping right on their toes. And I guess, what's Chris Lucas's message now to his team?
Well, you can see that Melbourne has gone into a zone to try and force Adelaide into some outside shots. But you can see so far they've been pumping the ball inside really well, and I think Chris would be encouraging his team to continue to do that because, as I said before, Kylie Shook is such a big inside presence, really effective when she gets the ball on the block. It's almost an automatic score. And she has the range to shoot the three as well. So he'd be encouraging his team to break that zone by getting the ball through the high post, through sets of hands. But the most important thing is they can't set up in a zone if Melbourne don't score. So get the ball, push it so they can't get into that defensive set.
So leading point scorers at the moment, Allen with 8, George with 8, and Williams also with 8 as well. A couple of players hovering around some good scores too. We're on one of them bringing it up the floor now to Smith.
See Sam Simons on the floor for her first minutes of the game. She's a shooter, probably brought her in to break that zone. Looks like they're still in it.
Here she is now on cue.
On cue! Oh, thought maybe I could do it again.
The one time you missed on it. Here's Allen now, nearly tripped over her own feet.
See, Steph Talbot's got an issue with her shoe. Great hands there from Chelsea Brook. She's very long, Chelsea Brook. She's got good hands, able to get a tip on that one.
Melbourne had that sort of favour with the deflections in the first quarter, and now Adelaide started to get some hands all over the place as well.
Do you see Alana Smith? Look how active she is on the ball there. Oh, great pass from Kayla George, finding the rolling Ezzy to the basket. That's a heads-up play from the 300 gamer.
Here's Talbot over to Smith, and now Simons.
See the two
outside shooting.
The two teams just ran the exact same play.
Here's Smith off one leg. Couldn't get that one to fall.
See Adelaide ramping up the pressure a little bit.
Here's Magin now. Looking to give it off to George.
Great shot fake. Good take. Strong take to the basket there from Kayla George. Because she shoots the ball so well, she kind of draws people out. As you see there, you have to go and block her, and then Kayla gets the step on her opponents.
Same thing again. Brooks finding it hard against George. She's fouled her twice. But George, 300 games today, 300 WNBL games.
See there, she converts both of them.
And like you mentioned, she's not slowing down. It's not like a 300 game swan song. It's 300 games and I'm going to keep going.
I reckon we could see another 300 out of her.
This might be the next Kelly Wilson, yeah. 400. The next record breaker, perhaps. Brooke fools up from 3. She gets one back on Kayla George from long range.
That's a great shot there from Chelsea Brooke. And when Chelsea Brooke is playing the way she is tonight, it really gives Adelaide a lot of depth in their big rotation. And she's had a great last couple seasons. Like, she's been, you know, that X factor for Adelaide coming in off the bench for the last couple seasons. As you see Sam Simons there pull down a tough board.
Great defense on Mitchell as well. Sam Simon, she's going to get it back here. One of the assists. Ball head out of bounds instead. So take a look here. Look at the hustle from Simons here. Just didn't let Mitchell wheel her way around and then snatch the board off Ezzy too.
Yeah, it's just that effort that Chris is probably searching for.
So a chance for Adelaide to perhaps draw level with Alan and George taking a seat.
It's a great shot there by Alana Smith. Good, better rebound there.
Imagine could start things off here for Melbourne. Harley Ernst and Izzy Wright on the floor. Just over 90 seconds to play until we hit half-time. Magbagor spins around twice and then finds Mitchell. They've got 5 to shoot here, the Boomers, so Mitchell has to go to work. Magbagor, strong pass, strong pass.
That was a great play there. The two of them in a pick and roll situation. That's a deadly combination.
Melbourne extend their lead once again. Brooke, she's got a look, but gave it to Smith instead. And Wright pulls down her first board of the game.
Izzy Wright is another really talented player that comes in off the bench for Melbourne. She adds a lot of depth to their team. Just a hard worker, great defender, and a brilliant passer.
So 7 to shoot here for Melbourne. They're pushing the shot clock this game. Oh, another great pass from Magbagor, this time to Wright. Mitchell had to pull up, but did it too late. So great defense from the Lightning.
We love to see that. That's a coach killer for Guy Malloy to run out of time on the shot clock, but Chris Lucas has to be happy with his group, forcing them into a turnover.
Melbourne 38, Adelaide 29. Adelaide looking to have the last say before halftime buzzer rings. Wareham gets it to Talbot. Simon's pushing hard on the cut, but she misses her. Tries to get it to Wareham, but Mitchell, she's got those skeleton hands. You're not going to miss that.
Tiffany Mitchell.
Good look-ahead pass.
Another Tiffany Mitchell to Magbagor pass.
Wareham now, she's got 5 to shoot before halftime here. Simon does the rest and nails it down. Perfect way to finish the quarter if you're an Adelaide Lightning fan.
What a way to go into halftime. That's a great shot there by Sam Simons. That's what she does. That's a great push there by Abby Wareham too. It would have been easy just to walk the ball up the floor and not push for another score, but Abby really just pushed the issue there, got in front of her player, drawed Sam's defender, and then got a shot off.
So at half-time, it's Melbourne Boomers 38, Adelaide Lightning 29. Leading scorers on the board, Ezzy Magbagor with 11 points. Kayla George has got herself up to 10 points. And then for Adelaide, Kiana Williams, leading the way with 8 points, and Chelsea Brooke with 7 points. Adelaide, can you sum up the first half for us? I mean, what did you think of the game?
You know, I thought that Melbourne actually ran the floor really well. I said at the start of the game I was expecting more of a half-court grind from them, but they've been pushing the issue. They were really active defensively, which got a lot of their fast break points, and Tiffany Mitchell there, she's been great offensively, and she draws players and has had a couple of really nice assists. Alana Smith for Adelaide Lightning, she's been fantastic, and so as this person right here, Kiana Williams, just splitting the defender.
Taking a look at the match highlights, and Boomers obviously lead this one, but both sides had a couple of good looks, so I guess Only what does Adelaide have to do? What do they have to regroup and think about in this halftime break to get back into this one?
I think they had a couple of really good stretches when they were more active defensively. Like I've said quite a few times throughout this game, they are so good when they run. And when they had a couple of glimpses in the first quarter and the second quarter of them all streaming down the court, they looked really good. So, you know, it's still a close game, and 8 points is nothing in the scheme of things. They've got a lot of players that can heat up really fast, and I'm expecting Adelaide to come out of the half with tenacity and probably maybe even a press, some more ball pressure, trapping on balls, something to push Melbourne a little bit more out of their comfort zone.
Taking a look at the match stats now, it's the Boomers 40 points, Lightning 32 points, and we look at the assists, and there's a lot of differentials there, particularly looking at the steals, 6-0, and then the rebounds as well. Boomers are having a good lead, aren't they?
Yeah, you look at not just the steals and assists, but the turnovers as well. A lot of those turnovers have actually turned into scores for Melbourne. They've been really great getting hands on things and then pushing the ball. Tiffany Mitchell has had a great impact on the game in that area. Even, you know, Rachel Brewster had some good minutes there, just getting her hands in on some things, and same with Izzy Wright. So I think that Melbourne are playing a really fun brand of basketball and getting their hands in everything.
It's halftime. Melbourne 42, Adelaide 4. I'll start again. Melbourne at 40, Adelaide at 32. It is halftime at the Lights. We're going to take a short break. And we're going to be back after this short break. Melbourne leading at halftime. Melbourne 42, Adelaide 32.
everyone who said we're not strong enough, not fast enough, wrong. We're crossover queens, scoring buckets, taking names and hitting no-look threes. We fight for every ball. Until we dunk, hell yeah. When we roll into the court with nothing to lose and everything to prove, you're in for a show. She got style, she got balls, she got belief, she got game.
Welcome back to the Lights. We're playing on Ghana land today. It's Adelaide 32, trailing Melbourne 40 heading into the third quarter. It's an 8-point deficit for the home side. Julia Montesano and Annalie Maley with you in commentary. And the Melbourne Boomers today, they're obviously going to try and play for a win, but they're also playing for another special cause. They've jumped on with the Southside Flyers to support their lifeline round. You can see on screen there, 1 assist equals $100. So far, the Boomers have had 5 assists, so $500 in the kitty bag there for Lifeline. And of course, Lifeline are doing a lot of important work. You can contact them for any help if you want to chat. If you're struggling, 13 11 14 is the number, and you can fundraise for Lifeline at the bottom of your screen there. That link will take you straight to the Southside Flyers page, and of course that campaign spearheaded by Jenna O'Hay as well. So the Boomers doing some great things on and off the floor, but we're looking at on the floor, Annalie, right now, and they've had a great start to this one.
Yeah, they've been brilliant, haven't they? They're playing really great team basketball. The assist doesn't reflect it as much. I think there's been some missed shots and then putbacks, but yeah, no, they've been sharing the ball really well. They've been running. They've been. It's mostly the defense. I feel that's the biggest differential between the two teams. And you know, Adelaide have had sparks where they've been incredible on their on-ball defense, and I think that if they can bring that, and they'll be more evenly matched, and Adelaide could really make a push here. You see the on-ball defense of Alana Smith, which has just been awesome. Like, she's so long and so aggressive and so hard to get past. And I think that if the rest of the players can pick up on that energy a little bit, this is completely within their range. Like, only 8 points. Like, you have players like Steph Talbot and Kylie Shook and Kiana Williams who can shoot the ball from pretty much anywhere. So, yeah, I think that it's going to be a really entertaining second half of basketball.
We're definitely in for a good half of basketball at the Lights. And if you're liking what you're seeing here, don't forget about Aussie Hoops. It's basketball's national junior participation program, introducing kids aged 5 to 10 years old to basketball. To find out where your kids can start a lifelong enjoyment of the sport, visit the Aussie Hoops locator, which can be found at aussiehoops.basketball/find-a-program. Aussie Hoops doing great things for basketball, and so too are the Adelaide Lightning. They're going to be in for a big task to beat these Melbourne Boomers, but as Annalie mentioned, 8 points, it's right within their range. They're right in this game. Make sure you don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great finish here at the Lights. Two teams wanting to get a top 2 finish.
I'm
get that illustrious home final. I know, I'm excited too.
It's a really great game of basketball to watch. So many talented players out here on the basketball court. Opals, WNBL players, Australian talent, and you see Alana Smith taking it to the bucket hard, finishing through contact. That was such a great drawn-up play. You can see that's probably something that Chris Lucas drew up on the drawing board, and Adelaide executed that brilliantly. Alana Smith just too strong, too quick, too long through the lanes there as Kayla George commits her 3rd foul.
And Smith puts down the M1 as well. So Kayla George in some early foul trouble, and Alana Smith in some Early offensive form, up to 8 points for the game. She's got 4 rebounds too.
I think Chris would be happy about that if they just drew it up.
On that time, she gets beaten by Mitchell, but she pulls down another rebound. And Williams is off and running against Magin. Turns her inside out and now gets Talbot. Smith on Ezzy Magbagor. What a great matchup this will be. Smith goes to work. Magbagor sends it the other way.
Another great block by Ezzy as she runs down the court the other way. Opens up a shot for Tess Magin. Can't hit
Can't
this time.
finish.
Another rebound for Alana Smith as she pushes the issue.
Now we're looking to slow things down for the moment of run of play. They're back within 5. That early couple of points set them alight in this third quarter. Now Talbot with 7 to shoot. Hands over to Smith. We've got to find an option quickly here, Adelaide. Werrung's just got to put it up. Just can't get the finish. It was good defense by Melbourne.
Good team D by Melbourne. You see the clock ticking down and they didn't relent up on the pressure at all. It's nothing worse than getting a shot hit right on the buzzer after a really good defensive play. So that was a great execution from Melbourne there to play some hard-nosed defense for 24 seconds. You see them come down the other way.
Allen, guarded by Williams. 10 to shoot now. Just can't find Mitchell, and the Adelaide bench is up and about. They feel the momentum swinging ever so slightly towards their side.
Yeah, Chris Lucas must be happy with the way they've started this quarter. They've come out with a lot of energy. You see the bench is up and about. They're running. Their defensive pressure is amazing. Oh, you've got a mismatch in there. Alana Smith goes to work on Ezzy. What a great matchup.
And charge, Ezzy Magbagor with some great defense once again.
Oh, you say that's a really great matchup there, and you got a great offense. Better D. It's a charge there. Ezzy might have had her feet in the no-charge circle, but we'll let that one go.
Ezzy quietly has got herself up to 11 points and 9 rebounds. She's nearly in double-double territory already.
Light work
with a couple of big blocks too. Don't forget those.
Light work for Ezzy.
You can hear the voice out there. Intensity's kicked up a notch at the lights as Mitchell finds the ball. 5 to shoot, so Magbagor feeds it to Magin. Pulls up for a long-range 3. Good pressure by the Lightning.
Both teams have gotten deep into the shot clock the last couple possessions. You see a mismatch there.
Smith double team, feeds it to Shook.
Great
Williams all on her own.
Oh, that was a really beautiful play of basketball there. It touched everyone's hands. Just couldn't convert on the ending there. So you see Ezzy taking on Steph Talbot.
Just can't finish.
It was a great take there. You know, Ezzy had a size advantage there, but Steph Talbot is too strong.
So Melbourne yet to score in this third period. Adelaide have put on the 3 points, but both teams are struggling to find the buckets right now. Williams, we know how prolific she's been this season. Wanted Shook, got Talbot, who got the bucket.
Great screen there for Alana Smith. You know, Steph Talbot got open and hit that shot because Alana stepped in and screened her player. Sneaky little screen, just got her open. Great vision, smart play for the two Opals.
And just like that, Adelaide are back within 2 points. They've cut the margin back from 8 at halftime, now down to 2. Melbourne yet to score. Timeout called for a good reason. What's Guy Malloy going to say to his Boomers today?
He's probably going to ask them to up the energy. I think that they seem to come out of halftime a little bit more flat, I would say, and you know, they're totally capable of bringing that energy with the talent that they have on their team. So probably just, you know, lighting a fire under them and trying to get them to just, you know, get the deflections that they got in that first half and bring that energy. And I would say Chris is probably really happy with the way that his team has come out and played hard. And sometimes, you know, they've forced Melbourne into a lot of late shot clocks, which is really good. It tires them out, I think. And they've been really great to start this half.
The shot clock thing has been interesting. Both teams are really pushing the limits on the shot clock this game. Why do you think that is? Just to kind of, I guess, prevent scoring as much as you can?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, these are two very quality defensive teams. So they're hard to come by baskets when every option in the early offense is being shut down because their transition defense is so well. You see each player wearing each other like a glove, and those late shots are coming just due to the defensive pressure, as you see Alana Smith here just getting a little too handsy on that play.
Alana Smith loves to talk to the ref.
Loves to chat. Don't we all, though? I do too.
We do love the refs, though. They're doing a great job this season as well.
Absolutely. Can't have a game without them, so it's important.
They're wearing their Indigenous jerseys as well. Great to see. As Talbot steals that one off the Boomers, and they're up and running again. Can they take the lead? Williams finds Smith.
Great kick out.
Talbot in that same spot. Elects to go inboard this time.
Good
and cut
hands.
off. This is what the Boomers need. Can Mitchell finish off against Williams? She can.
Nice. That's exactly what Guy Malloy would be saying to his troops when he rallied them just in that last timeout. A little bit more defensive pressure. When you have Kiana Williams pulling out moves like that, that is hard to stop. The between the legs, step back, fadeaway off 1 foot. What do you even do there? That's crazy.
That'll be on the highlight reel for sure for the Lightning. As Allen looks to create a highlight reel of her own, goes in the paint. Good feed to Magnicore. There's the highlight reel for Melbourne.
Oh, that court vision is just unreal.
The assist game has been on point. It's for a good cause as well, of course. $600 for Lifeline now for Melbourne. Smith can't get that one to finish.
Good D there by Kayla George, not lowering her arms. Just making Alana shoot a contested shot over her.
Here's George.
Great back cut there by Ezzy.
Can't get it to rattle in, but she'll be at the charity stripe, Ezzy. 13 points, 9 rebounds so far in this ball game. She's down for the time being. Good sportsmanship there from Williams as well.
Look at that. That's a highlight play just there. Here you see Ezzy with a great back cut. Oh, you see Ezzy just rolled her ankle a little bit there. Hope she's okay.
She'll take these free throws. Ezzy Magnicore, she's a tough cookie. Her side's up by 4 points. Just over 5.5 minutes to play, third period. Good crowd at the lights as well, just
good.
Urging Ezzy to miss those ones.
Yeah, good overall game from Ezzy here. You see she got the 13 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, but those blocks haven't been just blocks. They've been absolute with authority, as you see her doing what she does best there. Following up a missed shot, powering up over everyone. It's an athletic play by Ezzy. She's read the ball off the ring so well here.
Whittle on for the first time since halftime. Gets it over to Talbot.
Chelsea Booker checking back in as well.
Trying to find her on that occasion. Now Whittle, long three. Can't finish. And Mitchell just traps that ball perfectly.
Marina has a really high three-point percentage, so she needs to be taking those shots. Good help D there. Extra pass, though, from the Boomers.
George just can't pull down the boards.
Oh, good fight from both players. Kayla George wanted the foul there, but God, both of them just played so hard.
It was in contention for so long, just didn't know where it was going to go. Kayla George, 300 gamer today. We're pushing her to go to 400 here in the commentary box. Melbourne up by 6, 46-30, just under 5 to play. It was a foul.
I think Kayla just got
tech, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just see a little bit of frustration playing out there. It happens. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. And the refs seem really hot on, that talking back. There's got to be a fair question rather than just kind of a yelling. So
yeah.
That brings Kayla George's foul tally now to 4. So she's got to take a very early seat, and she's really frustrated.
Yeah, it's a dangerous one for the Boomers, but, they have enough talent. You see Carly Ernst stepping on the floor there.
Williams stepping up for a 3. Mitchell pulls it down.
Carly Ernst running the floor there as Tiffany Mitchell pushes.
She's got Ertz free for now, but she elects to go on her own, double teamed.
Great help defense. Great hands from Kiana Williams. See the 2-on-1. What can she do here? Great D from Ezzy Magbagor here. Oh, that was, she played 2 people.
Seems Magbagor is going to be the key now in Kayla George's, you think, probably most of the second half absence.
Great hands there from Kiana Williams. Just better defense from Ezzy.
Allen bringing the ball down now. Magbagor's got hot fingers at the moment.
Good extra pass there. Great pass into Carly Ernst.
Here's Magbagor now. Against the finish.
Oh, I just clapped in the studio. Pretty basketball.
Annalie Maley loving the work of Ezzy Magbagor. Game recognising game. Here's Talbot. Speaking of game, can't nail that 3. Ball still up for grabs. Imagine hustling for it. And Melbourne can come up the floor once again, leading by 7.
See Kiana Williams.
Here's Allen. Great pass out to Magin.
Good defense there by Kylie Shook, just stepping up.
Here's Magbagor again. Over to Mitchell. Driving in right hand. Big block by Shook.
Big block there.
This is my house, Tiff. Get it out of here.
Kylie Shook wanted to join the block party, and then down the other end, ran the floor so well. Heads up play by Steph Talbot. Just kicks it ahead to Kylie Shook, who gets fouled. She'll go to the line. That block coming across the split line. Kylie Shook isn't just tall. She's super athletic, as you can see here. Her running the lanes, gets fouled, goes to the line.
I don't think I've seen her smile all season. She just plays. She's just got such focus when she hits the court.
So focused, so composed, so professional. It's nice to get Kylie Shook going. It's a really key player for the Adelaide Lightning in Kylie Shook.
7 points for the ball game for her. Just the 1 rebound, which is interesting, but that big block sending shockwaves through the WNBL right now. 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Magbagor guarded by Shook. This time she gets to work and gets the classy finish. Magbagor's doing it all for Melbourne.
It's a great take from Ezzy. She can take almost anybody in the league off the dribble like that, and as she should.
Up to 19 points, Ezzy Magbagor. 10 rebounds too. Here's Talbot.
Great skip pass to Chelsea Brooke.
And Wright pulls down the boards.
Rebound there from Izzy Wright. Lindsay Allen, guarded by Whittle.
Here goes Allen to Ernst. Ernst will need to get going in the absence of George, but the Boomers right now.
Lindsay Allen clears Whittle out. Takes on the bigger girl. And converts. That's a really smart play there by Lindsay Allen, because she's, you know, she's the smaller guard. She's got the foot speed on Kylie Shook, and just a little hesitation, explosiveness to the basket. Didn't want an on-ball screen, clears it out, finishes over what it looks like 3 Adelaide defenders.
And of course, whether you want to be like Ezzy Magbagor, I mean, who wouldn't, or just be your best, Spalding believe everyone should have the opportunity to play basketball. Grab yourself a ball and get started today at spalding.com.au. Spalding are, of course, the official ball partner of the WNBL. And as I said, you want to be like Ezzy Magbagor because she's having a great game at the moment. 19 points, 10 rebounds, 5 of them offensive as well. How do you go about stopping Ezzy Magbagor when she's on a hot streak like this?
Can't.
You just can't.
You just can't. You know, when she is playing like she is tonight, she is, you know, I would say the best player in the league. Like, she is just so athletic. She can take anyone off the dribble, whether it's a card or a post. Like, you just can't guard that. And especially when she's going after her own misses, cleaning up the boards. Defensively, she seemed to be everywhere. You know, it's Ezzy Magbagor at her finest. And with the supporting acts that she has around her, like, everyone from Melbourne is having a good night tonight.
Magbagor leading all scorers with 19 points. The next best is 10 from Lindsay Allen, Kayla George, and also Kiana Williams for Adelaide too. You can see Ezzy Magbagor. Good field goal percentage as well, 53%. She's looks like she's going to finish every time she gets in the paint.
Yeah, she's been finishing the ball really well, especially in this third quarter.
So Melbourne 52, Adelaide 43. Just under 2.5 minutes to play, third quarter. We're on to Smith.
It's a post up there from Talbot.
She's got a mismatch here in height, and she capitalises on it with a classy finish.
Brings her tally up to 10 points.
Now Mitchell goes to work on Talbot, finds herself some space.
That pull-up is just so effective. Like, she is so hard to guard when she goes so hard to the basket and can just stop on a dime.
Here she is guarding Werung. Now Talbot. Wright's got the tough job of guarding her right now. Cross court here to Whittle. Didn't want to go for it, but got the 2 and the and 1.
It's a great drive from Marina there. She had to shoot it, end of shot clock, skip pass from Talbot, got players in the air and finishes a really nice play.
Gets a tick of approval, partner?
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
how do you go about watching Marina? I mean, are you a nervous watcher? Are you kind of a bit of a fidgety watcher?
Oh, I think everything she does is great, so... but I think she should shoot the ball more, but that's just my personal opinion. It's a good offensive rebound from Alana Smith. As you can see, Guy Malloy with his hands on his head. Another O board for the Lightning.
Werung gets cut off by Mitchell, and she's off and running, running the lanes, but Mitchell might go on her own. Was it a charge? 2 shots. She had the elbow out, but I think there was a bit of foot movement on the D.
Yeah. It's a great steal. Probably maybe got a little bit lucky with an elbow there, but I think there was definitely contact on both parties. A good call by the ref.
So Mitchell's at the line. 10 points for the game. Izzy Magbagor taking a seat. Chance for Adelaide to get back into this one without her on the floor. Mitchell on 10 points to go with 5 rebounds and 3 assists.
Tiffany Mitchell puts that one in. See, it's still a very close game. At this point, still anybody's game.
Werung knows that. Hands off to Talbot. Superstar of her team. Here's the pass to Smith. Brooke up against 2. Manages to get the feet out. And this is signature Adelaide basketball. Whittle can't hit the 3 though.
That was a really great patch of basketball by Adelaide. Fortunately, couldn't get the 3 to drop, but it touched everyone's hands almost twice. The ball moved so well. Yeah, it was a really, that's your standard Adelaide basketball. As an extra pass from Melbourne.
Here comes Mitchell, guarded by Whittle, draws the foul. Mitchell going to work in the absence of Magbagor, who's sitting on the bench right now.
As you see, she just attacks the shoulder of Marina so aggressively. And now she's heading to the line.
Kayla George still sitting on the bench, 4 fouls for her. As Mitchell drains her first free throw. Still anyone's game, as Annalise said. 56 Melbourne, 47 Adelaide. Now a 10-point lead for the Boomers. 38 seconds here for Adelaide to head into the 4th quarter with some momentum. As Smith gets to work on Ernst. And it's a charge.
That's some good D from Tiffany Mitchell. They actually, so that's the play they ran, their first play out of the half. Exact same play. Melbourne were ready for it this time. And Tiffany Mitchell knew where Alana was going to go. Unfortunately, one gets called for the foul.
And the thing with Melbourne is, you know, you thought Magbagor goes off, maybe a chance for Adelaide to come back into it. But in her absence, Mitchell, bang, steps up and gets herself up to 13 points for the ball game.
She's a real high-energy player, Tiffany Mitchell, and has the ability to change the game every time she touches the ball, or every time when she's not even touching the ball.
Here she is now with it. What could she craft up this time? A little dish to right, and now Ernst, top of the 3, wanted it a bit lower, and now Brown can't finish. Good offensive board. Last shot here for Melbourne. Allen didn't quite know what to do with it, in 2 minds, went up with it, couldn't come down with it. And Adelaide breathed a sigh of relief. But Melbourne still hold a 10-point lead, 57 points to 47 at 3-quarter time. But don't go anywhere. This game is still very much in the balance. These 2 teams want a top 2 finish. They want that illustrious home final. And we can't wait to see how it all pans out in the next 10 minutes of basketball. We'll see you after this short break.
is a market leader, offering 4 integrated property and service divisions in cleaning, hygiene and washroom, waste and recycling, and property services. Find out why Australia's largest spaces and most iconic places only trust the Icon brand. Icon, solutions that matter.
Welcome back to the Lights. It's Melbourne holding a 10-point lead over Adelaide, 57 points to 47. Julian Montesano joined by Annalie Maley in commentary. And of course, we're hoping Annalie Maley might get a spot in this Opal side. The Opals are going to be playing in Sydney come September in 2022. FIBA's flagship competition, the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup, is of course heading to Australia. Over 10 action-packed days at Sydney Olympic Park, 12 powerhouse basketball nations will battle it out for the world title. You can sign up for first access to tickets at womensworldcup.basketball. So excited to have the World Cup on home soil in Sydney, but of course right now we've got the WNBL Cup to fight for right now. Adelaide and Melbourne are proving to be 2 contenders, and they're putting everything on the line in this one, Annalie.
This is such a well-matched game, and even though there's 10 points in it, that's nothing to either one of these teams. Like, they've got enough players that can light it up in a short amount of time, and yeah, really looking forward to this last quarter of basketball here. You see Melbourne Boomers with the ball, Tiffany Mitchell going to work.
A rare miss from her. She's been hitting a lot of points this game. Williams has been as well. She brings it up the floor here for Adelaide and gets their 4th quarter started. Brooke can do it really well here. Just can't get the finish.
Abby
Wera, good hustle.
Fighting for the ball. Lindsay Allen just getting the better of that contest between her and Chelsea Brooke.
The win means a lot to both these teams.
I just realised Smith has 4 fouls as well. Not having her on the court will definitely hurt Adelaide. But I'm sure Chris will get her on later in this 4th quarter. But you see Chelsea Brooke stepping up, taking some really clutch threes.
Here's Allen.
Great pass.
Down right. Baseline drive and reverse finish. Izzy Wright, clever.
It's a great finish there from Izzy Wright. She's a really quick first step, and she attacks her player. She looks like she was looking for the pass, but then realised how open she was. Popped it in for the reverse lay. It's cut.
Speaking of being open, there she is. Kiana Williams finishing on cue.
It's great. She's so good at splitting the defense there. Just so smart, so quick. The ability to change direction so fast like that. As you see Abby wearing Lindsay Allen so closely, but
long-range pass comes to Williams, and Brown with the block this time. Good to see Melbourne's bench getting involved in a big way.
Lou Brown's had some really great impact these last couple minutes. She's had a few O-boards, great defensive plays. You could see her just there having a clutch block on Kiana Williams.
She's in the action here. Mitchell going to work. Allen, long-range 3. Brooke pulls down the boards.
Great board there from Chelsea Brooke. Just pulling that down out strong.
Adelaide still down 10. Werung over to Talbot. Double teams. Now Shook finds herself open. She's got some outlet passes if she wants it, but went on her own.
You see there Lou Brown with a great defensive stop, and then with the rebound to follow it up. She's been really good in the minutes that she's been on. See Tiffany Mitchell with that signature pull-up jump shot, going baseline this time. She's just so good when she gets to 2 feet and rises up like that.
So too is Williams. What's she got in her bag of tricks here? Triple team, so she goes back to Shook. Now finds Werung free. Just elevates herself, but can't get the finish. But Brooke pulls down the O-boards.
Gonna have to get it up here. Kiana Williams. She's very capable of hitting those shots. That was a dangerous 3 there.
Good D again by Melbourne, and now Mitchell.
See how close Abby Werung is wearing Tiffany Mitchell. She's just able to take it baseline, but great help D there from Kiana Williams as she pushes the issue down the other end.
And great hustle play by Allen just to get the diving hand in. That was an Aussie rules spoil on the basketball court. She's adopting the native sport, Lindsay Allen.
I reckon she'd be a pretty good AFLW player too. Although we don't want them poaching her, she's up.
No.
Let us keep her.
Of course, you've got an AFLW player in your own team. Tessa Lavey somehow balancing 2 sports.
She's a machine. Absolute machine.
Here's Izzy Wright in the corner, guarded by Simons. Now Madgen, Allen. George back on the floor. Oh, just misses the pass to Lindsay Allen.
Saw what she was looking at there. Lou Brown was open, but I don't think she knew she was supposed to get the ball there.
It's happened a few times with Melbourne, just a couple of misguided looks. But they've certainly been hot on the assists, trying to get as many as they can. As Whittle somehow pulls that pass in. Guarded by Allen.
Got the size advantage there.
Puts the elbow out, threads the needle, can't get the finish, got the O board, still no finish.
It's a great step through there, and then even got her own board. Good to see Adelaide.
Hustling hard here for Williams. Shot clock expires.
So they had a couple of easy looks there. They just missed a couple gimmies.
Madgen now looking to capitalise for Melbourne. Perhaps break the hearts of a few Adelaide players and fans after working so hard on their end. Allen guarded by Simons, pulls up, nearly fell over her own feet. Madgen somehow gets those boards. Now George, she's got the lane all to herself and she makes no mistake. Melbourne 63, Adelaide 49. They've broken this game wide open with 5 minutes and 46 seconds to play.
Melbourne's done a really great job at hustling on second opportunities. You saw Tess Madgen just there, not giving up on a play, kicking it out, and Kayla George says, "Thank you very much, let me stream to the basket." You know, Kayla actually does a really good job at pushing the ball inside. Like, we all know her as a shooter, but she's really good off the bounce. She always has been. Like, you look at some of her plays during the Olympics where she just takes people off the bounce, goes to the basket. It's good to see her do that here tonight, as Melbourne's kind of broken away a little bit. I'm not going to say it's definitely not out of reach for Adelaide. They can still bring it back. But Melbourne are definitely playing with all the momentum at the moment.
They've scored 6 points in this quarter. Adelaide have just got the 2 points so far. Using that steely look on Kayla George's face. She's usually, you know, off the court, I think she's got a bit of white line fever. Off the court, she's a character, she's up and about. But once she steps over that line, she is all business. And so far, Melbourne Boomers are all business in this one, trying to get that all-important win as we head into WNBL finals. Of course, the structure, first versus fourth, second versus third. Top 2 get a home final.
That's the only way to play with white line fever. That's the only way to play.
You know a bit about that, Adelaide?
You gotta play hard when you're on the court, have fun when you're off the court.
It's Kayla George gears up. Williams guarded by Scanlon. Good to see Scanlon on the floor as well. So too Simons. Talbot met by Wright. It's fast tempo basketball.
See Alana Smith back in. A great D there by Ezzy.
And speaking of back in, it's McGregor's back in as well. She's going to be hard to stop. She's got the ball in her hands now. Over to Madgen.
Especially because Alana has that foul trouble. They should get the ball into Ezzy, and then Ezzy can attack Alana. Great step through, great D from Steph Talbot. She hits the deck. That was great defensive effort from Steph Talbot, playing defense on the taller Kayla George. So you see here, Kayla just steps through, and then a block there. She hits the deck. Took a moment to get up there. Looks okay though.
It's been a tough game. Bodies hitting the floor left, right and centre. Desperation from both teams to win this game. As Talbot looks for Simons. And she'll get it back here.
Great pass. Oh, picked off by Izzy Wright. Back again from Sam Simons.
Now Williams, long three is no good, and George pulls down those strong boards, gets to work against Brooke. Looking for Scanlon now and finds it. A couple of Boomers are free on the perimeter. She'll go to George. And now Madgen wanted to pull up. We'll get it back to Kayla George. She pulls up, just rattles out.
It's the Kayla George specialty to not look like they're going to shoot it and then shoot it right in your face.
Here's Smith now over to Williams. Talbot with it too. Adelaide once again sharing the ball as Magbagor slaps it out of Smith's hands. 5 to shoot here for the Lightning. Brooks going to be quick, but George was quicker. She's got no one running down, eventually gets right with her. Now Magbagor, easy dish, easy finish.
That is great offensive execution by the Melbourne Boomers. You had a really great steal from Kayla George, just getting her hands in, end of shot clock for Adelaide, and then pushing the ball, sharing the ball around. It went in, and out again. Ezzy with a great finish. See Steph Talbot here posting up the smaller player.
Got her own board, couldn't quite control it, and Izzy Wright comes up with it. Oh, now Smith pulls up. Can't get it to finish. That would have been exactly what Adelaide would have needed, but now it's in the hands of Melbourne.
Glad wrap over the ring or something.
Scanlon with the spin move on Simons, gets to work baseline, and Wright's there to mop it up. Gets it out to George. Imagine. Can't hit that dagger.
Melbourne just look like they're playing a little bit harder at the moment. You know, the shot went up just before, and Adelaide kind of stood there and no one rebounded it. Maybe a bit of that fatigue is sitting in, and you see Tess Magin just completely put her body on the line, dive for the ball.
It's a good thing she wears those knee pads.
I think I need to get myself a pair of those.
I think you do. I'm surprised you don't. The amount of times you hit the floor. Anyone out in the market, any Puma, Adidas, anyone that's on to sponsor Annalie, get her some knee pads.
Sponsor me. As Marina Whittle hits the deck, and she was fouled by Tiffany Mitchell, splitting the defense here.
See, she's got the right idea. She's got the long skins on.
Yeah.
Follow her lead. See if she can lend you a pair of hers when you get home.
Yep. A bit of a tumble there.
But still great hustle from both teams. I mean, we spoke about Melbourne's hustle, but Adelaide equally still putting their bodies on the line.
Continuously so. That's why it's such a good matchup, and it hasn't really ballooned out yet. It says both teams still playing hard with 2 minutes and 51 seconds to go. As a turnover here, Tiffany Mitchell just finds her hands on absolutely everything.
9 steals to 2 in favour of Melbourne. Mitchell getting to work on 3, gets it out to George. Now Magin with a turn. Found herself some space, out to Magbagor. Mitchell goes up against 2, blocked.
Great block there from Alana Smith. It's been a block party the last 2 games. This one especially. Kylie Shook has had quite a few, so has Ezzy. Now Alana Smith wants to join the party. Says, get out of here.
Magbagor leading the way with a couple of blocks in this game. Williams crosses over Scanlon and finds Simons in the corner. Magbagor pulls down the crucial board.
That was a really important board there for Ezzy.
Just over 2 minutes here. Melbourne can extend their lead and put this one to bed.
Oh, that's a good high-low action there for Melbourne. Just a little bit too much sauce on the pass there to Kayla. You see a timeout being called by Adelaide. Chris probably going to urge his players to come out with a little bit more urgency in these last 2 minutes. Well, guys probably really happy with the way that the Melbourne Boomers have been playing.
Interesting thing is both these teams face on the way home. The UC Caps, Adelaide face them on Thursday, and then they've got Southside. And then Melbourne, they've also got the Caps. Remember that thrilling game they had against the Capitals as well? This time it's on their home deck. So
yeah, that'll be a really good game to watch. You know, the Caps are playing with such great form at the moment.
Beat Perth last night.
Fun basketball to watch. I mean, Brittany Sykes, holy moly, been amazing. Anyway, back to this game. We got Chris Lucas probably telling his team to push the ball, try and cut that deficit a little bit. The last time these two teams met, it was Adelaide that came away with the win. So he's probably trying to get them to kind of cut down that for the win-loss deficit. You know, even if they can't push it, even just cutting down some of the points, it means that they might win the split. I don't think these two teams meet again, so it's all that stuff is important in terms of where people finish up on the ladder. Like even if Melbourne get the win today and Adelaide win the split, they still win the series. So yeah, no, it's good. It'll be good to see them play out this last little bit hard. And you see Kayla George with 12 points and 12 rebounds, 4 steals. Just a casual double-double for that superstar. And Kayla George just battled with a bit of foul trouble earlier in the game, but has managed to stay on the court for the majority of this fourth quarter regardless.
It's so great to see a 300 gamer in foul trouble, 4 fouls, and she's got a double-double somehow. And she's been sitting on the bench for a long period of this game. Adelaide have only scored a bucket in this whole fourth period. They really need to get going now, and Werung knows that, puts it up. Imagine able to pull that one down.
So he's put on Taylor Ortlick for a little bit of energy defensively. What she's doing right now, getting up and in, almost forces a turnover.
Melbourne's still with it though, just over 90 seconds to play in this ball game as George, long-range pass, athletic finish.
True about that. That's a really great pass from Kayla George. The vision there to see her cutting Ezzy along the baseline, knowing that she's going to be able to catch that. And then what a catch, what a finish. Beautiful high-low from the 2 big men.
Werung goes to work on Scanlon, finds Ortliff for her first 3, can't get that one to drop. Really struggled from 3-point range in this quarter, Adelaide.
They started the game off hot from the 3-point line and really run out of their luck throughout the game. It's great defense there. It's Adelaide streaming down the court. Whittle for 3. Oh, just off there. As Ezzy pulls down another rebound, but Taylor Ortliff somehow comes away with it. Alana Smith, it's just not her night. Marina dives on the ball. So Ezzy draws the foul there.
Magbagor just in everything at the moment.
Everything. Absolutely everything.
You think after that Ortliff steal, that's it for her kind of efforts in that play, but she got up again, conceded the foul.
She was 23 points and 14 rebounds. 2 blocks to add to that. Just doesn't look like slowing down. You know, I spoke about fatigue being a factor early in this game. She doesn't look fatigued at all.
And she's going to keep going for these last 40 seconds. Melbourne 67, Adelaide 49. Melbourne looks like they're going to come away with a big win in the calculation of finals. Was Perth dropping that game to the UC Caps last night. So those top 2 spots are still anyone's at the moment. Both these 2 teams, of course, facing the Caps on their run home. Scanlon finds herself a lane and says, why not? I'm going to take that. And the bench gets up and about for her.
Lily Scanlon is so quick and so crafty. That's a classic Lily Scanlon move. Split the defender, go hard to the basket. As Melbourne come up with another rebound.
And Scanlon get herself back-to-back bucket. She's got 13 seconds to work with. Melbourne up by 20 points. It's going to be a big win for the away team. She dishes it out. Long 3 is on and down from Rachel Brewster.
She's joining the party. How about that for some
Shrugs her
confidence?
shoulders as well. Yeah.
I mean, she's a sharpshooter. That's what she does. Rachel Brewster knocks down 3s during the NBL 1 competitions all the time. That's nothing new to Rachel Brewster.
So Melbourne get the win here at the Lights to the tune of 23 points. They're back in town. They've had a disappointing loss against Bendigo last week. Back on the winners list in a big way. Final score at the Lights. Melbourne 72, Adelaide 49. Leading scorers, Magbagor had a fantastic game, 23 points, 14 rebounds. Mitchell got in the action with 15 points and 8 rebounds. George in her 300th WNBL game, 12 points and 13 boards. And then we look over to Adelaide. Williams leading the way with 12 points and Talbot with 10. Importantly, they kept Alana Smith to single figures, but she did also contribute 9 boards. So a great performance overall from the Boomers, and they head into finals with all the momentum, Adelaide.
Yeah, what a great game this was. It was a fun game to watch. You know, the Lightning, the scores on screen, I don't think that's correct, but the Lightning played really hard. They played till the end of the game, and it was a really good game of basketball to watch. You know, like Kayla struggled with foul trouble, didn't even phase it for the rest of the game. All class for Kayla George, and as you see there, having some smiles, sharing some smiles with her teammates, and yeah, what a great game that was for Kayla, and that they could get the win for her on her 300th game. And you know, Adelaide played well, and I'm sure we'll see both of these teams deep in the finals, you know. Like, I think Melbourne and Adelaide, they match up so well, and they both play a brilliant style of basketball, fast-paced, aggressive. Tiffany Mitchell was brilliant tonight as well. So was Kylie Shook. I think we'll be seeing a lot of these teams deep into finals.
It's going to be a certainly fascinating finals matchup, and Melbourne getting the job done today. I mean, what did they do well, Annalie? What was the key to Melbourne's success in this one?
They just looked like they hustled, you know, like I said at halftime, their deflections, their hands in the lane, they took quite a few charges. They just found a way to end up with the ball in their hands. At times it wasn't, you know, the perfect play, but they still just kept going at it, getting those second efforts. Ezzy was amazing on her second efforts tonight. That kind of brought up everybody else. You saw, you know, even the likes of like Lou Brown coming in, getting quite a few second effort possessions, as well as little tips and deflections. It's contagious, it really is. And I think that Melbourne played a brilliant brand of basketball tonight. The ball moved through everyone's hands almost every possession. The ball movement was brilliant, and I think if they continue that, they're, you know, a real contender for the cup.
We're going to take a look at the match stats now to see where Melbourne proved their dominance, and you can check this out here. It was the steals where they really went to work, and the rebounds. Look at that. Annalie, you know a little about the rebounds. Yeah. I mean, how important is it that Melbourne won that count?
You know, for the most part, I would say if you win the rebound count, you win the game, because that's extra possessions for your team, extra ability to get points, and Melbourne were just dominant in that field tonight. You know, look at that, 53-35, along with 10 steals. Like, that's just extra possessions, extra shots. The three-point percentage was pretty low for both teams, but it didn't matter because of those extra possessions, and they were able to convert most of those into easy putbacks, easy layups, and just more points for the Melbourne Boomers.
You can see the Boomers got 10 assists, and of course they're supporting Southside's Lifeline round. 10 assists means $1,000 heading towards Lifeline to answer crucial calls on 13, 11, 14. That's going to wrap up action here at the Lights, though. It was a dominant performance by the Melbourne Boomers. The Adelaide Lightning just couldn't match it on this occasion, but as Annalie said, we expect these two teams to go deep into finals. Of course, that does wrap things up. We have got one more round of WNBL action left and still plenty to unfold, so keep it on KO Sports and, of course, ABC on your Saturday night throughout the week. But for now, it's farewell from Julia Montesano, Annalie Maley, and our talented production team. See you soon and have a great night.